And here we go. We got a box from Shields, paid for by me. It is it's a HOKA box we got. What do we got, everybody? Oh, man. Yes, here is the HOKA Challenger 8 in this beautiful colorway of like bronze and green and dark green. We're out here in the yard right next to the family tent. We went to Yellowstone. We got it set up. We're letting it dry out. So that's what's going on. And here we go. Oh man. So sitting outside with the tent, and here is like a nice outside shoe. So the Challenger, first time in the hand, the new edition. There have been some updates from the 7 and the 6 and all the previous generations. And I think a lot of the HOKAs this year especially are going with more stack height, everybody. A little bit lighter on the upper and a little bit more foam, that CMEVA. And you can tell, I don't know exactly how much more they put in here, but it's quite stout. All right, I can see you guys through the mesh here. All right, we're going through and we're just gonna have a look-see here. So the Challenger, it is a road and trail shoe combination. That is what they are marketing these shoes towards, kind of that user that wants to have a little bit best of both worlds. And I have found actually in previous generations of the Challenger that this has actually performed very well as a trail shoe, as a racing shoe on trails. In fact, I placed pretty well a couple years ago wearing the Challenger 5, I want to say 4 or 5, one of the two. And so here we are a couple years later, and I did pick up the 7. It's downstairs, and I now have in my hot little hands the 8 because I'm a fan of the Challenger. I like the Challenger. The 7, I have not done a full review yet, but it felt good. And here we have the 8. We're going to pop this on foot here in a little bit. So I have high hopes for the Challenger of 2025. Here we go. All right, let's have a look. So we got a nice, pretty beefy elf here going on, that Achilles tab. It's nice and cushioned right here. It's got a nice deep little heel pocket. Well, actually no, I take that back. That it's not super duper deep. I'd say it's mildly pronounced, given that it's 2025 and pretty much all companies have this kind of setup here. And there is the option to have a super cavernous area for that heel bone. It looks big here, but it's actually not as pronounced as it appears. So we'll see how it feels underfoot. Okay. And the tongue actually has quite a bit of padding, actually. Gosh, I think they really have, fluffed it up. You know what I'm saying? Added some plushness to the Challenger this year. That's what my initial impressions here are of this shoe, okay? The laces are pretty standard HOKA, meaning that they're kind of a little bit on the skinny, slippery side, but do have a little bit of cushion and a tiny, ever so slight breath of stretch, okay? Uppers of HOKAs typically have been hit and miss for me. I've had some kissing of the material in the past, and I've had some luck with that not happening. So we'll see how this one goes. And then a little bit of a nice semi-flexible toe cap here. All right, and then of course the stout piece in the front, standard. Coming in, the upper is soft to the touch. It's very slightly stretchy. So that's nice. And taking a look for any kind of overlays or anything like that, I just think about the old Challenger and how it had quite a bit of overlay, mainly originating from the midsole up to give a lot of structural reinforcement, as well as that was a double layer mesh, if I remember. It had this underside, it looked almost like mosquito netting with a pretty stout overlay, and this seems to be a single piece here. I don't know when they stopped doing that, actually. I'll have to check that out. And then having a look at kind of these wings, these sidewalls, man, look at that, guys. You guys, this is a Dodge Ram. This is a Ram truck. Truck bed here. You're just sitting in that thing, man. Oh boy. So here's the medial side of the shoe, and here's this. I mean, you're talking boom, this right here, that, I don't know, just at an inch there. So who knows? Oh, hi, honey bun. You okay? All right. I had to take her electric collar off because she's right here on the border. Okay. Don't be. This is the shoe review here on the Dad channel. All right, so we got this. We got a nice little, little pull tab here. ready for action. So let's pop this guy on foot. Oh, I got the insert here. Insert. It's okay. It's not super loosey-goosey. It's not like very structurally significant, but it does actually have quite a bit of traction here to keep that from moving around, and the top has a little bit of traction too, so that's kind of nice. Alrighty, so let's pop this on foot. Actually, no, let's take a look, peek at the outsole. It looks like they changed the outsole quite a bit this year from last year, so we'll see how that goes. So previously, the outsole has served to be a little bit of a cushioning element along the ride here. So we'll see. This looks actually fairly pronounced. It almost is reminiscent of the Speedgoat series, actually. And I would say that the lugs actually are a little bit more prominent. Okay. So I do think about the HOKA Torrent. I think about the HOKA Speedgoat. I have not tried the Mafate, if that's how that is pronounced, the Basic or the X. I'm thinking about other HOKA trail shoes. Oofda, I can't think of any right now. So we're gonna pop this guy on foot and see how it goes. All right, we are slipping it on here, and I am giving it a lace up. And I want to talk as we're doing this because I want to give you my first impressions. So I will show you here the material here in a moment. But so far, so good. I feel like we have good spacing and good lacing spacing. It doesn't really have a ton of lockdown to the top of the midfoot, side to side, left and right of my right foot. It does. I'm telling you this as I'm doing it in real time so that you get my initial gut impression. So nice little heel cavern here to slide that guy in. That heel does sit back, and I give it a little knock into the corner pocket, if you will. All right. And then I'm tightening up the midfoot here. I don't try to strangle my foot. And actually, I gave that a little bit more of a lockdown than the right side. Definitely a lot of cushion between the laces and the top of the tongue. Here, let's take a look. So, shoe on the left is a little bit tighter and a little bit more tied down than the one on the right. And here we go. Here is big toe number 1. And there's the end of the shoe. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I'm not going to go on a tangent about HOKA sizing right now. I'm just not doing it. But those Speedgoats that you saw in the previous video had to go back because I want an 11.5, not an 11. This is a men's size 11 Delta. And look at that, man. Whatever. Anyways, so moving on. A decent amount of spacing here. So let's actually stand up and see how we do. Oh man, just a big sigh of goodness here. So yeah, let's actually give it a little jogsy here. Okay, all right, kind of on the midfoot here, and hang on, let me tighten up this right side here. Oh, that feels much better. I just realized I'm in mosquito lane, so we're gonna get out of mosquito lane. Real time, we gotta go. Okay, so what are we thinking? So grassy surface. The posterior of my foot feels extremely well protected. The medial aspects of both of my hind feet, I can feel really cradled and cushioned. The midsole is soft. It's kind of bouncy, but it's not loose yet, obviously. So it is not. It's not broken in feeling straight out of the box, but it feels good. I'm thinking about the meta rocker a little bit. Okay, I got some decent cushion under my first ray, being like everything all about the first toe, from the tip of the first toe all the way back to the medial midfoot. Very well cushioned. The heel, it doesn't feel significantly locked in, but it's not loose either. That's good. Let me run on my heels and see. Oh, that's pleasant, y'all. That feels really good. That decoupling that you saw in the posterior, I can feel that acting like a little suspension system. Okay, let's run over to some hardball surface and see how this feels on the hard stuff. Because remember, this is a crossover shoe designed for roads and trails. And so we just did a trail bit. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. This is so pleasant. This is really nice. This is good. Now I'm on my heels. Ooh, nice and stable in the turn. That was a left turn. Let's do a right turn. Nice. Oh my gosh. That is secure, you guys. Good lockdown. On the heels, great. On the midfoot, meh, it's okay. Oh, we have a customer. What we got there? Where'd that come from? Okay, there we go. Switch. We can look at that later. All right. Okay, so yeah, midfoot, good. Okay, all right, coming on in. All right, here we go. So it doesn't scream a ton of energy on the trail surface there, but as far as the road goes, that was like a little bit more pleasant than I expected. I guess I was expecting maybe a harder midsole material, and it just did, not be quite as responsive as it was. But coming down on the heel, especially, like I really felt this decoupling here, kind of, clamshelling in, coming in and like bouncing as I was like applying pressure to it, and that's great. It's really cool whenever the outsole is complementing the runner, as far as any features that make the running experience that much more enjoyable, if you will. So that's what I got for the first impressions of the HOKA Challenger Ocho number 8 right here on the channel. When the time is right, I will have a full review of the shoe here. And remember, I do a ton of chores, and that's part of my training hybrid approach, chore-based fitness. And so shoes like this, I feel like would qualify for that, for ChoreFit. So we're gonna do some running, we're gonna do some ChoreFit. Right now I'm in the middle of the summer here, and we're gonna knock this review out later on. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. We'll catch you in the next one.